join us. And look at that. She is probably the most tech-savvy person I have ever. Congratulations, Marina.
Thanks, Maria.
Uh, Marina, do you just want to introduce yourself and tell us what we're going to talk about today?
Sure. So my name is Marina Vieira. I am based in London. I work here as a jewelry specialist for Bonhams. And I have the pleasure of talking to everyone today about engagement rings and the engagement ring buying process. And like you were saying, a very exciting topic. I think engagements in general are exciting, but nowadays with more, couples coming in to buy their jewelry and for women buying their own engagement rings even, it's become a much more diverse landscape. So it's a really cool topic to be speaking about.
So, buying engagement at auction, some people might think, oh my goodness, how do I do that? So what should I keep in mind if I were to attempt to buy an engagement ring at auction?
So there are a couple of things to keep in mind when choosing your piece and the piece that's best for you. So first of all, it should really be a wearable piece and fitting to your lifestyle. If you love extreme sports and rock climbing, you'll have very different needs than someone else. That might not enjoy those things. Durability is, of course, a factor, and we'll go into different gemstones and their wearability later. But this is definitely something to keep in mind, again, when considering your lifestyle and your movements and all that. So in terms of style, it should be something that is timeless and something that you can envision yourself wearing for a long, long time. And but also wearable enough to be worn effortlessly through the day, and then stylish enough to be carried through the night. But I think most importantly, it should really reflect your personal style and preference. I think we tend to see a lot of very similar engagement rings out there in the industry, but the auction is definitely the place for more unique items that can really help kind of open your mind and broaden your definition of what an engagement ring can be.
Yeah, and I like that, because if you go into a normal jeweler or into a branded boutique, you what they interpret the engagement ring to be. But if you go into an auction house, we've got from 1700 right through to contemporary pieces. So you get a huge span, and that might give you more of an option to find something that suits your style.
For sure. I think one of the best parts of buying at auction, really the singularity of the pieces that are offered. Like you said, if you go into most retail shops and you say, I got engaged, I'm looking for an engagement ring, you will probably see, a diamond solitaire ring, a diamond cluster ring, maybe a 3-stone ring. Nothing that there's nothing wrong with those. Those are very classic pieces. It's what I have. I have a solitaire, but I think the auction is a great place to see what an engagement ring can be, something very unique and with some historical importance, which I think will bring a lot of romance into the piece, and as well as, it will be a great backstory for the story of the couple in general.
Story behind that. And also, I think it's not like you're going to miss the one auction. You hold about 10 auctions a year in London, don't you? And then hold them all around the world as well.
Right. It's more like 13 in London, 10 at Knightsbridge specifically, where I'm usually based per year. 44 sales worldwide between London, Hong Kong, New York, LA, Sydney, and now Paris coming in May, which we're all very excited about. And as for the Knightsbridge sale specifically, we have about 300 lots per sale, and on average, and 20 to 30% of those lots are rings. So obviously, no matter what your budget or what your taste, you can find something that you'll really love. I think another great thing about buying at auction is it's just a really great way to buy sustainably. Obviously, these are pieces that have that are already out there in the world. They're not being mined or manufactured, and it's a great way to buy at competitive prices as well. I think that's a big one for most people. Obviously, we know retail markups can be enormous. And in the secondary market, costs are much lower. So that will allow you to maybe buy a bigger stone than you had previously envisioned, or maybe a matching set perhaps, or a period piece that has a little bit more importance to it, and still keep within your initial budget, which I think is the dream for most people.
If they haven't had the experience of buying at auction, just going online and looking at your catalogs that you put up in advance of the auctions and prices, I think it is a very nice surprise to see that actually you can afford more than you thought, and you can also afford something quite a lot of character. So I think that's one of the big advantages of buying at auction.
Absolutely.
But there's also the element that you guys have between you decades of experience.
Right.
And if we go to see a preview there, I don't know if you personally, but your colleagues are, and you can ask questions, you can be guided. It's such a lovely educational and engaging experience.
Yeah, totally. We're always really happy to help because obviously it's such an exciting time for everyone. So, who doesn't want to be involved in that? But you can also think of the auction jewelry specialist in general as a kind of curator. So when you buy at auction, you have almost a guarantee that what you're looking at has been vetted for its quality, its authenticity, its provenance, what have you. We've done our due diligence to make sure, gemstones are natural. And we'll often go out and get certified reports to attest to this. So when you buy at auction, you can really be assured of what you're buying, and you'll have us there to guide you. And I know that my experience, at least in the retail world, if you don't know what you're doing, it can be quite obscure. It can be difficult to navigate. And I think that's different in the auction world.
Yeah, of course, Bonhams is, a reputable name. So all that comes with that, and it all adds to the experience of being able to have all that knowledge, and also behind what you're buying has all been checked, as you said. But I'm sure that everybody is dying to start looking at some engagement.
Of course.
But Marina, I've got a problem. I can't access my photographs. I don't know why. So one that you want to talk about, what I will say is that if you go and look at my Instagram, the Jewellery Editor Instagram account, I posted there. So sorry about that. If in the meantime somebody knows how I can fix this.
Of course. Technical difficulties. Okay, so let's get to the best part, I'm sure.
Prepare everything.
Say that again?
You've worked very hard to get everything all in one place during lockdown as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We are so close to the public, so opening back up slowly, but getting there. So I think the coolest thing about buying at auction, and we've touched on this previously, is really that when you buy pieces at auction, you buy pieces with a history. And this is one of the lots being offered in our new Bond Street sale coming up on the 28th of April. And it comes from an important private collection, and it has been passed down through generations. It's definitely a little out there. I'll put it on just for scale. It's definitely, a bold choice for an engagement ring, but still very wearable. And we'll go into more detail later as to why the ruby is such a great alternative to diamonds. But in terms of color, this is a Burmese ruby, an unheated ruby, which is very rare, and that color is just magnificent. So
wow, and I would challenge people to guess what the price of that ring is, and maybe you can tell us what the estimate. You'll get it for that, but
yeah, for sure, it's £4,000 to £6,000 is the estimate. So that's what we have kind of valued the piece to go for at auction. But it's 100% what you said, getting something similar to this at retail, you'd be looking well above that, I think.
That is an impressive ring. It's a sizable ring. They're great stones, and it's an absolute classic design. So a great choice.
Yeah, still very wearable.
Yeah. I like this next one because it's so unusual, and that's something that you find at auction. It's quirky things that maybe aren't fashionable anymore, or things that are overlooked. And I think this is a great example.
Exactly. So this is a ring dating back to the 17th century. It was found by a metal detectorist, so you can imagine. It has a smoky quartz in the middle. And, quartz is not typically a gemstone that's really found in a lot of retail market rings nowadays. But I think, if I show the side, and I hope it looks like I'm in focus, but let me know if I'm not.
Can you come just a little bit closer? Just a bit. You see all that detail?
Just the delicate, engravings. There's some enamel in there as well. Kind of underneath there.
Wow,
green.
So beautifully made detail.
And the condition, this thing has been around for 400 years. It's
amazing. I mean, how romantic is that? And found with a metal detector.
Yeah.
Story being spun behind the proposal.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I think again, a great example of the charm that an auction item can bring that is definitely hard to find in the retail space.
Your hand, Marina, can we just see it, or is it?
Oh yeah, of course.
Actually,
Let
this
me
is
see.
time to talk about sizing.
Yep.
Oh,
So while, yep, very wearable. I think wearable is the word of the day. Very wearable. So yeah, sizing. Although we can't say for sure, we would always recommend speaking to a jeweler. But most rings can be sized. Something like this might be able to, if it had engravings going. Oops, I'm out of focus. If it had engravings going all the way through, you would lose that if you were sizing up or down. But I would say, as a rule of thumb, if you're only going up or down a couple of sizes, you should be okay. But again, always speak to a jeweler. But that should never stop you from buying something you really love. You can almost always get it to fit you.
maybe just factor in a little bit more time, like
100, yes, that's
Okay.
always really important. At least a couple of weeks for that.
All this, right? Like an
Say that again?
classic solitaire.
Classic solitaire. So I thought I'd bring this in because if you are still set on the diamond, and I'll put this on because I think the focus might not be great, might be better on the hand. If you are still set on getting a diamond, I think going for an old cut for the center stone is a really great way to inject a little bit of history and personality onto your ring. So this is what's called an old brilliant cut diamond. It weighs 1 carat 76. And it's in our Knightsbridge sale. And what this old brilliant cut is, it's still very much round in its silhouette, as you can see, but the proportions are slightly different than what is called a modern round brilliant. And
facets, so a softer, I would say a more elegant glow, and they look beautiful under candlelight or slightly softer light. They've got a very romantic light to them.
Absolutely. And it's something that virtually no diamonds that are mined nowadays are cut in this way. So when you see something like this, you can you have you have a story there, and I think that's part of the charm.
Close to 2 carats, right? And do you want to tell us what your estimate is for that?
Yeah, we said 2,000 to 3,000. So again, not guaranteed that you'll get it there, but we try to keep our pricing or our estimates very realistic of what we can imagine that it will sell for. And I mean, I think 1 carat 76. That's a great size.
It's a great size. I mean, that really is, looks good on the hand, and
it does.
At a wonderful price. So that would make somebody very happy, I think.
I hope so. And then as an alternative, this is not an old cut, but just an alternative and a great way to illustrate the pricing that you'll find at auction. This is a 1 carat 28 diamond. It's an emerald cut. It's a D color VS2. It has a GIA certificate with it, with the lovely pear-shaped diamonds to the side. I don't believe this one fits me. No, I'll put it on my pinky. Yeah, and it's a really sweet piece, I think, and I think it's, again, a great example. This isn't for 4,000 to 6,000, considering how the great color and clarity that this has, the incredible condition that it's in. I honestly don't think this has been worn very much at all. Considering it's virtually new in its condition, for that price, for such a stunning stone.
Yeah,
definitely one of my favorite ones from the Knightsbridge sale as well.
Very dainty and very much of the moment with the setting of the two or marquise on the side.
They're pear shapes.
Yeah.
Little pear shapes.
Lovely, and it just shows you can get a very traditional old mine cut diamond or a very contemporary emerald cut.
Yep, we have it all. And then also in the Knightsbridge sale is this lovely, also emerald cut, slightly larger, central diamond, 2 carat 20. Also has a GIA HSI1. I love that it has the sapphires going around. It just adds that contrast. It has a little bit more oomph while still staying very classic, I think.
It's absolutely stunning that. And did you know more or less what year that was? What era we're looking at?
We called it modern. It does seem like it was a modern piece that is just, you are right in thinking it's inspired by Art Deco, the Art Deco period for sure, but we think it's most likely modern.
Well, it's just incredible because it has that nice, as you say, antique air, but then it's obviously really a robust ring because it's quite modern construction, isn't it? And
Yeah,
looking
for sure.
beautiful.
And I like that it matches my sleeve today.
But you can only have one, you know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
No
Yeah.
issue. And then on the topic of lovely blue sapphires, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some colored stones. I'm just going to
Oh,
turn myself around here a little bit. Colored stones, although the colorless diamond is usually the most popular gemstones
mhm.
for engagement rings at least. It might not be for everyone. You might enjoy a little bit more color in your life, and you might want to incorporate that into your everyday. You might want to incorporate a birthstone that's important to you, maybe your birthstone and your partner's birthstone. Maybe a mix of both. Maybe you and your partner have a child together already and you'd like to bring them into the union. I think it's a really great symbolic way to bring, that kind of sentimentality to jewelry. So I would say if you are in love with a certain color or a certain specific gemstone that you're looking for, you can definitely narrow your search for that.
Yeah, and at most auctions you do have a wide range of different gemstones, don't you?
Yeah, we always have, I would say, probably just as many diamonds as we do colored stones. Really, we try to always have a range. So
Yeah.
I'll turn you back around.
I think next, and I think you are going to like this.
Yeah.
Ta-da, you see?
Yeah.
Never disappoint.
Yeah, no, it's lots of personality for sure for an engagement ring, but I think such a great alternative. So this is a spinel and diamond ring dating from the late 19th century. And spinel is still a rare gemstone, but a great alternative to ruby because it has that gorgeous color, um, and which is very comparable. This one is a Burma no heat, which it's 6 carat 90, so that makes it a very rare, very beautiful stone. I won't bore you too much with the origins, but
I mean,
Burma is a good signifier for a good color.
yeah, you can see the clarity, you can see the depth, you can see the
Yeah,
light bouncing through it. That is a beautiful stone. Look at that.
yeah, and it fits beautifully. I like it when the ring is, closer to the hand,
And that,
especially if you're thinking every day.
yeah, and such personality. So if you know that, either you want to propose as a surprise that your beloved likes this style of jewelry, likes red, is quite bold and adventurous, and you can
Hmm.
imagine what an original engagement ring that would be.
Hmm.
And no one, unique, nobody will be wearing one like that anywhere.
Nope, definitely not. Yeah, just a great example of, well, these are not mass-produced pieces. They are one
Really,
of a kind.
and also, to find stones of that quality and that size today
Yeah,
is difficult. So it's often a good idea to head to auction bar after a specific stone, or looking
yeah,
for quality and size. You're more
yeah,
likely to find them at Bonhams than you are perhaps in a contemporary jeweler because those stones just aren't available on the primary market anymore.
yeah. That is very true.
Oh,
Very, very true. Spinels have been increasingly popular, but that is a
lovely.
good point. Also increasingly popular is the aquamarine.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of my favorites that we have today because it's such a beautiful mounting for it. And aquamarines are usually cut quite large and quite deep to retain their color. But with this one, because the color is really exceptional, they've been able to keep it at a very, again, word of the day, wearable size. And I think that makes for a absolutely lovely engagement ring.
That is spectacular.
A really different kind of mount, but
Yeah.
very stylish.
And what's your estimate on this one?
It's 800 to 1,200 pounds.
That,
So,
I mean, look at that. That is an amazing piece of jewelry,
yeah,
and one that I'm sure will be sought after. That stone
yeah,
is something.
Yeah, it's very well cut as well. It's, beautifully proportioned. We're very excited about that.
Ah, one
Okay, next one. So now we have this absolutely stunning
hat.
Burma No Heat sapphire, and I hope that the color is coming through as beautifully
It
as it
is.
actually is in real life. Um, Again, Burma, when it comes to sapphire, is an incredible origin. It really attests to the color of its exceptional color. And I think sapphire and diamond rings have become a kind of classic alternative to the only diamond ring. It's become a little bit more stylish, but I think something good to know is that sapphires are a great alternative to diamonds specifically because they have exceptional hardness, which comes close to that of diamonds. So something most people might not know is that sapphires come in all different colors. When they are red, they are called rubies, which again make ruby also a great alternative. But what you might not know is that they come in pink, yellow, orange, green, you name it, whatever whatever color you can imagine. So I think it's because of this variety and durability that it's become a very popular choice.
Yeah, and it is worth saying that going back to what point, which was about wearability and durability, that
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you go for the reason that diamond, sapphire, and ruby are so popular for engagement rings is because they are some of the hardest stones. Well, they are the hardest stones, almost in that order:
Mm-hmm.
diamond, sapphire, stroke ruby. So that means that they will last and last and stand the test of time and whatever you may throw at it. And look at
Yeah.
that on Marina's hand. Don't take it off.
Yeah.
Let us get some more. So tell me about this design as well, because it's an impressive size stone. Let me see if I've got the size.
Yeah, it is 7 carat 87, I believe.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. And of course, this is
Mm-hmm.
now another price point when we're talking this quality Burma, no heat.
Mm-hmm.
We're now
Yeah.
looking, let's add some zeros onto that. So I think, do you want to tell us the estimate for that, Marina?
That one is at 50 to 70,000 pounds.
That's
So
a special piece.
it's a very special piece. We always love these kinds of pieces. The style is usually referred to a ballerina style. Um,
Is that because the diamond is like a tutu around that?
yeah,
Ah,
pretty much, which I really love. I think it's an exceptional stone. You don't see that blue every day, I think.
wow.
So Maria, I take it you haven't been able to figure out the technological
So for some reason,
issues with the photos.
no, I always used to be able to access my camera roll, and for some reason, this time I can't. So,
Oh, that's
but
a
I,
shame.
yeah, but what we can do is we can talk about there is a wider range of styles of rings,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, so I just wanted to mention a few that have become popular that might, be a good way to look for an engagement ring. A lot of 1960s and 70s pieces, very, kind of constructivist, kind of modern pieces. Um, we have what is called an acrostic ring as well. We don't have any in the sale right now, but something that does come up sometimes to auction. It's a gem set ring, and the first letter of each gemstone will spell out a word. So we have the example of one that's a dearest. So it was basically diamond for D, emerald for E, and so on and so forth. So it's a really, again, it brings you back to that sentimental quality of jewelry. And I think especially when it comes to engagement rings, that's something that is really worth considering. Also, on the more historical side of things, there's the posy ring, which comes from the French word for poetry, and it was popular from the medieval times onwards. And lovers would inscribe, secret messages to each other in the form of a rhyme or a small poem on the inside of the band. And these sometimes come up to auction as well. And again, I think it just reminds us what the exchange of jewelry and the romance behind it is
what it,
really all
yeah.
about.
And I think you've got an Art Deco ring to show us.
I do. I didn't mean to
That's
skip that out. So this one,
like,
we said 1935 for it. So it is coming up on the Art Deco style for sure. It has that kind of linear quality. And I think that Art Deco has the really great factor of just being extremely modern
Yeah.
in its overall aesthetic. So it makes for very contemporary looking kind of pieces. And you might not think to go for a plaque ring for an engagement ring, but why wouldn't you?
It's definitely wearability. I mean, what the only disadvantage I would say of that style of ring is that you couldn't have your wedding band beneath it. But hey, you know,
We all have to make sacrifices in some way or another, but
yeah,
a lovely piece. And then another different style that I wanted to touch on is the Eternity band. This has also been very popular for wedding bands, but why not, or anniversary gifts, but why not go for it as your engagement ring if you love diamonds
yeah,
and you want something that's a little bit more show stopping,
yeah.
but still, again, very, day to day,
And I think
suited
that's
for
what,
that.
4.15 carats of diamonds, which not
Correct.
diamond, but that is a lot of diamonds. And
Yeah.
the estimate again, I mean, that is an amazing piece for
Yeah.
around £3,000, I think.
Very much so. Yeah, two to 3,000 pounds, approximately. That's coming up at our Knightsbridge sale as well. And yeah, a great alternative if you still want to go with diamonds, but you want to do something a little bit different.
I to point out that if anybody wants to look at these, each of these lots in more detail, they are all at Bonham's website underneath the
Hmm.
Bond Street and the Knightsbridge sale coming up on the 21st and 28th of April. So you
Hmm.
can look at them in more detail. And then you've got viewings as well, haven't you, Marina? You've started viewings, is that right?
We do. We are having viewings. I can show you the date. So for Knightsbridge, we'll be viewing on the 18th, 19th, and 20th of April, and for New Bond Street, the 25th, 26th, and 27th. All by appointment only, but we're very excited to get back to the public.
Fantastic. So you can actually come and see these pieces in the flesh,
You
try
can. You
talk to
can
the
try them on. You can ask us questions. Again, we love to be a part of the journey.
yeah. And
So I think I just have one more actual ring to show you. It is this stunning. So this I wanted to bring up as an example. If you still want to go the diamond route, if you still want to go the modern jewelry route, this is a beautiful what's called square cut emerald diamond by Boodles, and again also with a GIA. It has a GVS1 color clarity, and it's being offered in our New Bond Street sale. And I think, if you do still want to go the modern way, getting these at auction rather than retail, because again, the condition is fabulous.
yeah.
You're seeing much more competitive prices than you would elsewhere.
And also you've I know we've mentioned it before about your expert, but you also check each piece. So you check that the mounts are strong, that the stones are
Yeah,
is that
yeah, we do. This one specifically, we sent to GIA in America to get graded because we thought, a stone of this size and with apparent really exceptional color and clarity, we should get it. We should do it a good service of getting it certified. It deserves it.
right? And I know you have a beautiful emerald ring in the sale, which I can't show you, I'm afraid. But again, it
Yeah.
is on the Bonhams website. It is also on the Jewellery Editor website, in fact, right now, and it's on our Instagram, so you can see them all there. And I want we're just running out of time, Marina, but can we do
Yep.
one? Can you show me, for example, the one of the entry level prices and top prices, just so that we can see the range of what you can expect? Now
Yeah.
there.
So this lovely aqua ring that I showed you earlier, I'll put it on one ring, is starting at 800 pounds or 800 pounds low estimate, 8 to 12 is the estimate. And then the lovely Burmese sapphire is 50, I believe. Let me just confirm. I think it is.
That's why
Yeah,
I'm printing notes. Let's
50, the Burmese unheated.
have
So, and the emerald ring that we don't have the photo of, unfortunately, it's on tour in New York. That one's starting at 180,000. So whatever your budget is, we have something.
there. And also the
Yeah.
range of styles, like you said, from
Yeah.
1700s to very simple posy rings to very nostalgic acrostic rings to
Yeah.
big bold beautiful diamonds. It's all there and guided by experts, all sustainable,
Yeah.
and a great way to have a lovely journey, I think, with your partner.
Yeah,
Engagement ring.
yeah, very much so. Recommend it.
Absolutely. Well, Marina, I can't thank you enough. That's
Thank
been
you.
fantastic. Apologies for the lack of,
Oh, not at all.
but it's all in
Awesome.
the article. And thank you. And I hope that more of you are encouraged to consider the auction route, because it is really a very, as I said at the beginning, underrated and overlooked, but absolutely something that you should consider to open your range of options. Thank you, Marina.
Thanks, Maria. Bye,
Okay.
everyone.
See you soon. Bye. Thank you for
Bye.
joining us. Bye. Bye.